Hi. Hi, Joel. Hello. I saw him and now I don't see him.
Oh,
He's just
Hi,
gone.
Joel.
hi. Hi, Gwenna.
Hey, so nice to meet you. You're a new artist for
Yeah.
me. I'm so excited
Yeah.
to get to know these new artists. That's
Oh, thank you.
kind of what the studio tour is all about, in a way, right?
Right.
I keep, okay, there you are. So I wanted to introduce you that I have a little clip here that your name's Joel Bresolin. You're a painter and a printmaker. You're also known as Bresolin. I don't know if I
Yeah.
pronounce it correctly.
That's my art name. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. You're a Bay Area native and you now reside in Sacramento. And you say that you've been influenced by regional styles. So maybe you can tell me a little bit about that and your current body of work to get to know you a little bit or your work. Yeah.
Okay. I could make it real short. A version is, I kind of started out as a teenager. I was into abstract art and kind of Dadaism. And then
Oh,
I found out about the Bay Area figurative movement, and I
wow.
studied with some people that were peripherally involved in that. Anyway, my latest body of work, I'm not a political artist, but because of the current scene, I just feel compelled to paint. My last two paintings are one I worked on today is the UCD students that were being sprayed in the face with pepper spray by the
Oh,
police.
I remember that. Yes.
Then I
Absolutely.
did, that was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
A friend
Yes.
sent me a picture on Facebook, and I haven't been able to really dig into it until now. And then I'm working on a portrait of a police officer that kind of looks like Darth Vader with all the protective gear.
Wow.
Yeah. Then I
Yeah.
have another one that I painted, and it kind of looks like an ape. And it's a police officer, but I didn't really set out to make it any particular way, but it just came out looking really kind of funny and silly. So I guess I accept a kind of whatever comes up in the work as I evolve the painting. And uh, that's what I've been working on lately. I do some figurative, I do figure drawing.
Yeah.
I feel is a good foundation for artists to
Yeah.
kind of grapple with the psychology of figures. And then I take my drawings and I redraw them with paint on a canvas, usually about 4 or 5 feet. And then I fill in the colors and I work with the composition. So I'm kind of working on in that. Those are the latest things I've been doing. Thanks for asking.
So you're, yeah, of course. I have my questions for you.
Yeah.
So your painting, is that your medium, or because I saw some three-dimensional work, or what is your
Right.
medium of preference, or
I occasionally take out a chainsaw and I cut trees down sometimes. I have a place in the country, and I made a head that ended up in a virtual gallery in San Francisco. It was for a singer. I'm trying to remember his name, but it was in a show about that singer's something like that singer. I do some carving just based on like if I happen to have a log that looks enticing.
yeah,
I used
yeah.
to be a welder a
Oh,
long time ago, and I thought I'd get into welded metal, but I never really
yeah,
did too
no,
much.
no.
It's a lot. By the time you work in a factory and then you get off, you really don't want to be
Yeah,
inhaling more
I
smoke.
can see that. I can see that.
So yeah, I do. I occasionally go. I glue things together, and sometimes I screw things onto the sides or the front of paintings, and they
Oh,
can become sculptural. But
yeah.
mostly, I think right now I'm trying. I feel like I'm relearning how to paint, like the structure of composition and harmony of color, and going back to some basic rudiments of assembling the best experience for the viewer. But I have this experimental streak that I've never been able to get rid of. That I just
Yeah,
find materials and
that keeps it exciting, and also for an artist to kind of try your way at different things. You get influenced by different ideas, different people, or what are your main influences other than what's going on?
oh, I
Aren't
could
you?
say years ago, I went to a show at the Oakland Museum of George Herms. He was a poet, and he was very he put together things he found on the beach. And a lot of times his work had words and objects that were put together. And he was rather controversial in its time. He ended up being a teacher, but I think I've been influenced by, I think my parents had some art in their house, and I was around people that collected art when I was young, like Dievenkorn, and my mother gave me a collage by Jean Varda, who lived on a houseboat in Sausalito, that this collector had given to her. My parents were not well-to-do, but she always encouraged me to pursue the art. And the question, what was the question again?
Well, we started to talk about kind of influences,
oh, yeah.
Other than, because you do work in different media or experience, you try to experience with different media, and although.
So yeah, I think the Bay Area had a strong current of assemblage and
yeah, absolutely.
Really collaging together things, even in the 70s with the punk movement. There's been a lot of and I kind of like that, because life can be like that, where there's,
yeah, it's not as straight. It goes different tangents for sure.
Yeah.
All the
So
time.
Why not have fun and be open to just follow your inspiration? So I have been influenced by people like that, but also some of the fine painters. I love to see a really good painting. It just kind of knocks you over, and you go, wow,
Yeah.
So, it's a goal, it's a journey. It's not, I would like, to be part of it. But.
So for people who are watching, and for myself too, I'd like to know, are you showing anywhere around town? Is there any way other than online? Can we see some of your work in person at this moment, or are there any upcoming shows you'd like to talk about?
Well, just the one at Verge has been an experience already, because they had to take down my first paint. It was so controversial. It had a swastika.
So is it up at Verge now? Is it up at Verge in the?
Yeah, there's another face that I put up, a head.
Okay.
But I do have a full-time position, so I haven't been able to show a lot. I shown at the State Fair. And then I have sold through Exploding Head. It's a gallery that's now closed. But
yeah, I remember it well.
Yeah, they were really nice to me. And they actually let me walk into their gallery and dump like a pile of canvases on their floor. And they ended up selling one for me, which was, they were really nice. Jody.
Yeah, I know them well. Yeah,
they were really cool.
Great little gallery. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, good. Okay, well, is this, I forgot to look, is this, this is not your first time that you're doing open studios? You've been
it is up here. I did it twice in the Bay Area.
Okay.
I had
you have to start with a virtual open studios.
I know. Well, it's good for me, because I'm on the other side of the digital divide, and by doing this, I'm really, my daughter actually helped me get the Zoom account. I feel like I need to grapple with tech. I'm low tech, and I need to get into this, realm.
No, that's great. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for participating.
Thank you, Gwenna.
And we really appreciate it. And I guess we'll go back to Justina now.
It was fun.
Thank you so much, Joel.
Do I click on stop video?
What shall we do?
We still have some time for Joel, if he's still here.
I'm still here.
Joel technically has until 5:29.
Okay.
I was wondering, I was curious if I could interrupt here for a bit. What's been your favorite part about the open studios that you have done in the past, Joel, and how has this virtual experience been different for you?
The time I did it in the Bay Area, I had built like a 12 by 20 foot shed in the back of my house that was out on the edge of a canyon in Hercules. And I was shocked. I only had one visitor because it was way out on the edge of the map. But a woman that I went to high school with came, and she had become an art teacher. And I ended up giving her a print that I made, and she was really interested in what I was doing. And it was so nice to talk to her, you know, and that she had really been interested in me as a person, but also like, you know, what happened with my art. And so that was, you know, those kind of things are special.
So it was, even though you only had one visitor, it was a valuable visitor.
It was the quality of the visit,
right?
That, you know, it was worth it.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like selfishly, when I'm going to open studios and I see an artist and there's no one there, I love it because I get to ask them all the questions.
Yeah.
Right. But then I'm like, oh, I feel bad because, you know, they don't have more visitors. Usually it's because, you know, at least for SAC Open Studios, people tend to visit the studios that are close to each other, you know, so
Right.
So people who have studios that are a bit off the grid, you know, they don't get as many visitors, which is kind of a bummer. But it's like one of our SAC Open Studios artists, Henry Parada, who lives in West Sacramento, the first year I visited him, I just spent like an hour with him. He gave me a tour of his house, of his art collection, like
You got really deep.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So I imagine that might have been like a similar experience.
Yeah, well, I think the art experience itself is like that. It's a qualitative experience. It's something that you enter into on a deep subjective level, and it doesn't matter how many people experience something. It's that somebody did, and it rang a bell, or that person got it. It doesn't matter how many there are. It just matters that you communicated.
Quality, yeah. Yeah, you get that connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
I'm interested in, I did hear about the first piece of yours that we had to ask for you to change. I heard about that piece, so we won't talk about it. But I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about the piece that you did end up submitting to the preview exhibit.
Have you seen it?
I haven't yet. I've been stuck at home, but I need to get to Verge soon to visit.
Yeah, thank you, Justina. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I looked in the newspaper, and I don't know if the guy that played Spock, if he's still alive.
He's not. He died.
Yeah, I think it was after he died that there were pictures of him, and I started with that as a source, but it really, when you look at the painting, it doesn't look anything like him. It's rather, my wife wanted me, she said, it's kind of scary looking. And some of my paintings are like that. They're a little bit disturbing. And so it started with him as an alien. So it has a little bit of a strange look in the eye. So you know, it's a portrait.
Now I have to see it. I love me some Spock.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait.
Leonard Nimoy, yeah.
Are you a Star Trek fan, Gwenna?
Not really, but no. I know who Spock is. So
I've gotten into Star Trek within the past 2 years, and yeah, Spock.
yeah.
So I definitely have to go see that painting now. Joel, did you keep?
Okay, there's no hand in it. It's just his face.
What about the Vulcan ears?
So
no, I took the points off the ears.
Oh, okay. I'll forgive you.
So the show at the Verge, where Joel's piece is now, and where some pieces are exhibited, the SAC Open Studio exhibit, it's open to the public, but it's by time, right? Do we need to make an appointment for that, or how does that work?
Yeah, so this is actually a good time. Joel, if you don't mind, I can just tell people how they can visit. The preview exhibit is it's open to the public right now. So you can, our Verge hours are Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 5, Sunday 12 to 5, and you can show up whenever within those times. You just have to wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart from people that you don't come with. And I believe we're limiting it to 10 people in the gallery. So yeah, if you want to see Joel's painting inspired by the great Spock or many of the other talented SAC Open Studios artists' works, feel free to stop by Verge throughout the month of September to see that show.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thank you, Joel.
Thanks, Joel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.